What's up, guys?
Hey,
What
what's
are you
going on,
doing, man?
Chacho?
Yeah, we're back, bros.
How's it going?
Yeah, man. The podcast is back. Yeah, we're
Star
here.
Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. Okay, I've always wanted to do that.
That's so stupid.
um,
Me too.
yeah, like that's not okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. Star Wars. Okay, so I guess first of all, I'm
Well,
I'm, I'm doing pretty good. You
this is the aptclear Star
you
Wars podcast.
you comfortable?
And yeah, I'm comfortable.
Oh, I'm glad.
What?
What you eating there? No, dog. What you eating?
Piece of caramel.
Does it taste good?
It tastes good.
Okay. So I guess first off the bat, we had some. I think we were thinking that we were gonna start dividing it up. So at the beginning, we talk about any like current Star Wars news regarding the
Events.
movies or any like major things that are happening.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we did some research, and we're gonna have like a two-part show. We're gonna do the first half, like he said, current events, and then wee'll have a
Our
discussion,
main topic.
second half.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So some of you guys know maybe are still doing that like movie watch-a-thon thing. If you guys want to follow along with us, right now we're going on to episode 4. We actually didn't. We're not going to do episode 4 this week because we had finals, so we didn't have time to watch it. So instead, we did some research about Disney's effect on the Star Wars franchise, and yeah, and so I'll let you guys know about that. So first off, though, current events. What do you got?
For news, at least for me.
Clear.
Okay, you can just call me Alec. But so okay. So what I found was I was looking at some stuff about Star Wars Rogue One. So if you guys don't know, Star Wars Rogue One is about Rogue One is a rebel fighter group. I have some comics on them. The movie
Comments. That's a dream.
the movie is it's gonna be about how they steal the plans for the Death Star before Episode 4. So it'd take place in between Episode 3 and 4, but after the Empire is made. I found that it has a for sure release date, May 2017. There's a couple pictures up of the cast for it, like the main Starship crew. It looks pretty gritty from what I read in a couple of websites.
What do you mean by gritty?
Like, it's like
Bad?
no, like Batman, I guess. Like Batman, it's all like dark and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's not like all bright Star Wars. It's like they're
Well,
dark.
the next Star Wars is supposed to be a lot darker.
It's
too.
it's mostly Rogue One. It looks mostly gray and stuff. There's some pictures from like sets that they've done. It looks like there's gonna be battle stuff. Not really anything surprising.
Does it look good to you?
I mean, I'm excited because it's Star Wars. I mean, come on, how would I not be excited?
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm excited. It doesn't mean I think it's gonna be good though.
And then I'm pretty sure that actually no, I'm pretty sure I was wrong on that. Sorry, I've written down here. Okay. The May 2017 thing, that was for episode 8. Like as in like episode 7 episode. That's not for Rogue One. Rogue One for sure comes out in 2016. I'm not sure the exact date though.
December.
Oh, December? Okay.
Yeah, it comes out December
Yeah, here we go.
2016.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. It's about all I had.
Alright, yeah, so found a couple new things. So for any Star Wars not Bounty Hunter, Battlefront fans.
That's us.
Apparently, there's some resentment by the fan base on social media and other things at DICE because lack of content and that they feel that there's not enough sort of connection to the old game. For anyone that played Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was the last pandemic game that came out, which was the original producer of Battlefront, that game had multiple
Galactic Conquest. Yeah, Galactic Conquest.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't really meant to be. You could, but it wasn't really played on Xbox Live.
Yeah, you weren't
as
meant
much.
to.
It was more so like the traditional split screen type of
split
game.
screen. I mean, we played it like a couple weeks ago, and literally, it's still fun.
But people are complaining because they're saying that game, Battlefront 2, had way more content than
Oh, it
the
does. It
new one,
does.
which is and
Well,
that's a much older game, so people are pretty disappointed about that.
I think it's part of the problem with like what Destiny is going through too. Is it's not necessarily that like there's not content out right now, but it's that we don't know when it's coming. Like if you set a date, people can look forward to. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. But if you don't even know when it's coming, you know.
Exactly. No, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
understand. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, in the old version they had two game modes that people are requesting be put into this Battlefront or the sequel for Dice's Battlefront, which is Galactic Conquest and the Space Battle. So in the old ones, Alec and I just played this a couple, like, 2 weeks ago,
Yeah, I think so.
where it's, yeah, Galactic Conquest, it's kind of like Risk, the board game, except you
Yeah.
actually play the battles.
There's like planets,
So
and you can go from each planet to planet. It's just fun. You can do like
when you attack
invasions,
each other, you do versus mode.
and you can space battles.
Right, it's fun. And then space battles is just you literally you go like cruiser to cruiser battles. And you can like fly spaceships into the enemy ship.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like fight there. And
think
do, like,
about
fights in space.
like if you
Pretty
like for what's it called? Like for Battlefront, right? All you need to
Right.
do was it would literally just because what they Battlefront is fighter squadron now, right? So you would literally just need fighter squadron in space, and then just make the assets for like a rebel ship and a star destroyer, which they already have both. They just probably need to make them higher quality, you know.
Right. Well, the issue is with other facing is that while space battles might be able to be converted to the multiplayer format
Yeah.
of Battlefront,
Mm-hmm.
they don't think Galactic Conquest can be or should be. So the thing is, they want to be if they do end up introducing stuff like that from the old games into the new games, they're gonna make them. Or it sounds like they're gonna make them non online. They're gonna be just
Split screen.
class just like it was split screen or single player.
I wouldn't be surprised if they
I don't think that'd be such a bad thing.
if they do space battles for DLC. Like I would not be surprised because normally Dice in history of like Battlefield 3 and 4 like they put in new game modes for each each DLC drop they put in a new game mode, so I wouldn't be surprised if they put in space battles.
Yeah, well, they were fun.
I mean it's cool because then you can like hop on the
especially
enemy
Galactic
ship.
Conquest, I would really like that.
Well, it's cool because you like intercept the fleet. It was cool. It was fun.
If anyone has a chance to play, if you have like an Xbox 360
Or PlayStation 2.
or an original Xbox, but I think most people that are listening would probably have a 360.
Okay, PlayStation 2 is better.
Over like PS2 and original Xbox.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But I'm saying if you have a shot, you should play.
It's more fun with someone else though.
But yeah, the other critique of Battlefront is that for a DLC, which is like extra content that you most of the time you pay for after the game's released, that people are complaining that the content is a lot more money than other games DLCs, and it's more mysterious, so they don't know what's coming. So people are annoyed that like the season pass costs so much and we know so little about it when it's big expenditure for people. It's $50.
I think they should have for Battlefront. I think it would have been smarter to either because what was the DLC is $50, right?
It is. It's $50.
But the season pass is $50. But each DLC is going to probably be $15, right? Most season passes work that way, right?
Right.
I really think they should have maybe not like Destiny's doing this in a way like they implemented the like emotes in the game. Like Battlefront is emotes, but you would pay for the emotes, and that would give you, but that like helped fund the dev team. I think it would have been better if they maybe only made the original Battlefront cost maybe like $40, or like if they made it cost like $60, but put in like Jakku with the release, Even if they postpone the release like 2 weeks so they could get this content on the discs, I think that would have been better. And then I think it would have been cooler if like how you have like the alien heads, right?
Right.
I think it would have been cooler if you could kind of like how Clash of Clans. In Clash of Clans, like you can earn gems really slowly or you can buy them. I think it would have been better if they did that. So you didn't buy emotes or the really cool custom stuff with in-game currency. You'd have to like build it up really slowly, or just buy it. I think that would have been
The
better.
issue with that though is that then there's even less content that
No,
you can
well,
access.
okay, but it's not like changing your head isn't really gonna affect your gameplay. All I'm
Hey,
saying is I think
some people.
it could
care.
have, if they did that, maybe then they could take off like $20 or $10 off the price of the season pass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I just feel like I don't know. I think
Or if they
Battlefront.
gave,
People are complaining that it's just there's not enough content. I mean, there's
yeah.
what
Well, I
is
think
it,
just
13 maps
mhm.
total.
Well, I mean,
Not all of them
13
are
maps.
accessible. Not
I
all are
just,
accessible by every
yeah.
game mode.
I just think the maps. A lot of the what is it called? A lot of the maps feel the same. Like I'm playing an indoor. You know, like it feels like indoor, even though it's a different map. Like I really wish they. It was nice that they included Solace, but I wish they had put in like Bespin as a base
Yeah,
map or
more
something.
well-known maps. I
Like
agree.
like it would have been cooler if, let's say, there was a small map on Bespin, but not a like a Walker Assault map, because that would make sense. Like, why would there be AT-ATs in Bespin? You know, well, I guess
Right.
maybe there would be, but I think that would have been cooler, because then it would have been like, oh well, we're playing on the small map, we get to play on Bespin and maybe some other planet this time.
No, I agree. I think they. I think they underestimated how long people were gonna be entertained by what they put out. Because they did not put out a lot of content. I mean, I'm starting to get kind of bored with the content they have.
Well,
But
especially if you've been playing, like we were playing a lot, but we don't play as much now. And like if you were playing Battlefront this whole time, you gotta be bored now.
I know. Yeah, you have to. I started kind of feeling
The
over
burn.
Christmas break. I started kind of feeling this is getting old. Give me something new, sort of feeling.
I think it's also what I'm worried about is that, yes, like I'm not worried they're gonna come out with new maps. I'm not worried about that. I hope that they What? Okay, here's what I'm hoping for is that when they put in that I hope that because they said they're put in free DLCs, right?
Right.
And we know I saw there was a Twitter by one of the Dice guys that said that they're gonna focus on a tweet on
And these are gonna be free.
Yeah, there's gonna be some free map packs similar to Jakku. So it's not all gonna be paid. So what I'm hoping is that, because if you look at Battlefield 4, at the end of its game cycle now, you really can't play on much of the DLC. Like Naval Strike, what's it called? The game mode for the special game mode for Naval Strike, Carrier Assault. That is a great game mode, but nobody plays it. And I don't want that to happen to Battlefront, which I hope that at least with with the free releases, because what happens is you end up just playing on the same 7 base maps that it would come out with.
Yeah.
So I hope that there's more.
But at least that's 7 instead of 3.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I hope that the free content releases, because everyone will have the free content releases, which means if people stop playing the DLC, they'll still have this original one to play with. I just hope that another thing is that I'm worried that guns, that they can't add much more without them feeling the same. Like there's no reload time difference. You could change like rate of fire, I guess, but I'm worried that all the guns are going to feel the same even if they add more in.
Right. No, I'd agree with that.
Because I'm worried they're going to add like one gun in and it's going to be the same. Also, I don't want them to add in gadgets that are either laughably bad, like the flashbang, or like overpowered. You know?
Yeah, I know, just like the homing shot or the...
Yeah, well, the homing shots, I don't think that's really too bad, considering it, because you don't get killed by it that much. At least I don't. Which is kind of surprising, as maybe however they balanced it. But, yeah, Battlefront.
Yeah, but I did find the quote that you're talking about for the free DLC was the VP of DICE said that they were gonna, the new maps, the new star cards.
Yeah.
But they'll also have, like we were talking about,
Jakku style stuff.
Yeah, but then they'll also have, like, the paid DLC.
Well, yeah. I'm looking
so that's
for...
not bad. It's just people, it seems, are still frustrated because, like you were saying earlier, they don't know when this is coming.
Yeah.
There's no date. So people are kind of saying DICE better hurry up and put something out, because otherwise they're not going to get as many sales as they want.
Yeah, I hope they, I am worried that the DLC, like, you're not going to be playing the DLC afterwards, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, I think that the deal. I wish they would have. They should have put more stuff out from the get go.
I mean, I
It
think
was
they.
really stupid they didn't.
Well, I think what maybe they should have done is had released the game maybe for Christmas or something. So like right after the movie, comes out, you want it for like all the people want it for Christmas.
I
So
think everyone still did want it for Christmas though.
yeah, I suppose. Well, then that way they could have put Jakku in the game. I just think that.
Jakku's free though. I mean, you can download it for free. What does it matter?
Well, but you still, yeah, I suppose, because it came out fast enough. I just wish that they spent less time. I mean, I suppose there's nothing we can change now, but I wish they would have spent less time developing like the practice missions,
Right. Mm-hmm.
And like I know it's a casual game, but maybe just have a short tutorial instead of an actual mission, and then like the wave survival, and then
I haven't played that yet. Yeah.
a lot of the weird game modes, like why is Droid Run a thing? Like droid one, droid.
Yeah, I
run.
mean, I feel like what I feel like Dice did is there were some things they got like really creative on, and like they took a lot of time to make look good, but then that really caused other areas to lack, like the graphics, the sound.
It's great. Yeah, it's immersive.
Fantastic.
It's immersive.
Right, but yeah, the other stuff, like their game modes. Like a couple of them are good, but then the others just like, well, we kind of ran out of ideas.
Well, I just wish they just didn't put them in the game. Like, why spend time instead of making this? I wish they did because the small maps that they make, right? They didn't really put like Treyarch, for example, okay, in Call of Duty. Treyarch's really good at making 3-lane maps, right, that play well, but they didn't, like, Dice, for their small maps, they didn't really make them where, like, they play that well. Like, for example, the hangar on, what's it called? Solist, right? That's a small map, right? That map is great. It would have been cooler if, you know how on, Solist, okay, in the big map for, like, Supremacy and Walker Assault?
Right.
You know how when you're flying in a ship, there's, like, the main canyon that goes down, right?
Yeah.
Then, like, farther up the hill, well, either way, there's two more places where there are hangars that you can't actually get in. It would have been cooler if they just made, like, the small game modes take place in that hangar, okay?
Right.
But in the big game modes, that would just be, like, I don't know, not like one of the spawn points, but, like, you'd go past that in one of the big game modes,
Right, well...
So you could also use it for, because, like, I feel like Solus especially suffers that, like, the gameplay doesn't really feel to change. Like, I think Hoth is really good at this, that in the first set of uplinks for, what's it called? Walker Assault. The first set feel good because it's kind of mountainous, and, like, when you're coming into, like, the choke point there. Then the second one is you're either fighting inside, so close quarters, or you're fighting on the outside a little bit, but it's still pretty much close quarters. Then the last one feels like a final stand. But for Solust, all 3 uplink stations, they just feel like, you're in the middle of a giant canyon,
Right, no, I understand.
Like, it would have been, like, imagine if they made a, okay, like, would it not be sick if they made because I bet you they're going to put the Death Star in the game. If they made a Death Star map, or any map, and the walkers have to, like, go alongside, like, of a canyon. Like, they have to go along, like, a narrow path on the side of a canyon. Like, I wish they would just mix it up so it's not...
Yeah,
every game mode isn't just a flat mass. Either way, that's... yeah.
I mean, at the end, I just wish they'd be a little more...
responsive?
Yeah, I think they're going to need to be, though. Because I think people aren't too... I think people are happy with it, but I don't think they're going to be happy for long, so... We'll see.
I just hope. I hope that they.
Battlefront.
Well, especially because, like Battlefield, when they release their DLCs, or even Call of Duty, you play all the game modes on the 4 maps that they release. Which means, if Battlefront, how are they going to do that? Are they only going to release 2 big maps and 2 small maps?
I hope not.
And the problem.
The small maps. What bothers me is sometimes the small maps are the same as the big maps, or just small, shrunken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like the spaceport
Yes.
on Tatooine. You can go there on the normal map.
Yeah, it's just like it's the style the same. I just wish that they don't, because what's gonna happen is, let's say, because normally with what they've done, for past DLCs, Dice in Battlefront, in Battlefield, you play a playlist with just the maps from that DLC, right?
Right.
But in this new Battlefront, what happens if you only want to play the big game modes, but there's only two big maps? You're only playing those two big maps forever?
No,
I
it
mean,
is stupid.
the problem is then you have to like get out of the game, get all your party out of the game, try to rejoin up to like the original stuff.
It's stupid. It's stupid. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
Either
that's
way,
something that
yeah.
they'll have to deal with.
I mean, I'm still excited. More content's more
I'm gonna
content,
get
and
season
there's
pass.
no other games I'm gonna get now. I'm done with Destiny.
That game does suck. I was right all along.
Okay, it was fun until it's in the same situation Battlefront's in. It just Destiny. I don't know. It advertised.
Star Wars.
Okay, it advertised itself to be where you can like use any gun you want, and you have like tons of options. But it's in a game like Skyrim where you want to use the best gun possible. You don't really have that much of a choice. Either way,
No, I see what you're saying.
but I've said that before. Okay, well I guess that's. Do you have any more?
Yeah, just a couple quick more things.
Yeah, go ahead.
These will only take a sec, but so Adam Driver. This isn't as heavy a discussion, but who is Kylo Ren? He's the actor that plays Kylo Ren, the whiny Anakin.
Okay, he was not that bad.
Okay, just wait. He's gonna be worse. But yeah, he hosted on SNL the other night, and apparently it was pretty funny. He was Saturday Night Live, I mean. So he was undercover. He was Kylo Ren, but he was undercover as like a radar technician, and he was sneaking around the Starkiller base. It was a spoof on Undercover Boss. The TV series where the boss like pretends to be a worker, and he goes around and he meets with the other workers and sees what they think about the company. And so yeah, either way, haven't seen it myself, but kind of want to because it got really good reviews. So, and then last thing, Chris Carbold, who is an SFX supervisor, says he said that Maz, who's that little alien woman from
Maz
episode
Kanata?
7?
Yeah,
Maz Kanata. She apparently, so in the movie she says she's not a Jedi, but she knows how to use the Force. Well, we never really got to see that, but apparently this guy says that she, they had a couple clips of her that they deleted from the movie where she was shown to use the Force. So she stopped a couple stormtroopers from running, made the ceiling cave in.
That's just dumb.
She sounds like Yoda.
That's dumb. It's dumb. It's
stupid.
Because there was no reason to put her in that movie.
She is the perfect segue into the Disney is ruining Star Wars.
Okay, you want to just go straight in then?
Well, hold on. Yeah, because she's such an integral part of it.
Do you wanna go?
I guess really quick before we move on, I just want to say, oh my God, they're just looking why? It's just terrible.
What?
Why does she have to have Force powers?
I know.
What even is she? She owns a bar.
Okay, how could she defend that bar? If they don't put the Force scenes in the movie, the thing has no protection. It's sitting out in the open.
Well, it's I just feel like they tried to make her an older. They had Yoda, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Yoda's dead. So then they're let's make someone that's cooler than Yoda and one-ups him and everything.
Yeah.
She's older.
Like BB-8 to R2-D2.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Well, it's the fact that they're trying to make a Mos Eisley what do you call it? Like a Mos Eisley, like a cantina, which I think is cool because that's something that's Star Wars has. It always has its plethora of characters that you can which is another thing that we'll talk about in the expanded universe Disney part is that you'll see a cantina with characters in it and they'll have whole backstories. For example, in Episode 4, as in A New Hope, well the person Ben Kenobi cuts off the one guy's arm at the him and his friend, those two people.
Yeah.
They have a whole backstory. They have 9 death warrants and a bunch of different systems. They've done all this criminal stuff. And that's something that I think it's an important part of having Star Wars.
It's like history.
It just felt shoehorned in.
Yeah, I agree. it was just like this character. We need someone to play the wise old man here. Well, woman, I guess in this case.
We don't even know.
We're gonna make someone up because we have a vacancy.
Okay, well, Disney.
All right, so now into the main discussion.
Okay.
Our question is, so as you all know, George Lucas does no longer really plays a role or as much of a role in
Star Wars,
the Star Wars universe.
Disney.
He sold it to Disney.
I think in like 2011 or 12. 20. Yeah, there we go. 2012. And we're pretty much gonna talk about
dissect their role in the Star Wars universe and decide whether their presence is good or bad. So listen up.
Here we go. Okay. Okay. First off, I think
go ahead.
I think the first thing we should talk about is TV. So.
Well, here, real quick, I'm just gonna give them a quick backstory.
Okay.
To what happened. So basically, 2012, Disney bought Star Wars for $4 billion from Lucas because Lucas is, and this is from CNN, Lucas's kids did not want to take over the industry. So they bought it. Their goal as of now is to release a new Star Wars film every 2 to 3 years. Obviously, Rogue One is as we talked about earlier, is the most recent one.
Yep, or the newest, next coming out.
Right. And so since then, they've made a couple of changes to it, to the Star Wars universe, including eliminating pretty much everything before 2014 that was not a literal film. All the expanded universe stuff prior to 2014. So basically, anything that wasn't a TV series or wasn't a Lucas a movie, like one of the 6 movies, they got rid of. So yeah, Lucas, he's had it's kind of confusing to see where he stands on this because he said he at one point called Disney white flavors, and then other times he said that he's excited to pass Star Wars on to a new generation of filmmakers. He has a great relationship with Disney and everything's going well. So kind of confusing where he stands over it.
White flavors.
But yeah, so that's the history behind it, just real quick. So go ahead, Alec.
Okay, well, okay. First off, TV. So, okay. So starting off with some of the more obscure stuff, I was reading on ScreenRant.com, and there was supposed to be a comedy sketch show called Detours, which was supposed to be about Star Wars. That was canceled because of Disney buying it, though they're looking into changing it and putting it back out.
Right.
Another what do you call it? Change was that there was supposed to be a live action Star Wars show. Okay, that would take place in Coruscant or something, about crime families, right? But that got shelved by what do you call it? Lucas actually. Whatever, but Disney's not pulling it out. They said they're looking into it, which a Netflix show like that would be kind of cool. And then again, so obviously the Clone Wars animated series. So if you're unfamiliar with the Clone Wars animated series, well, I was going to talk about both of them. There was the original one which came out in 2003. It was about the space between. Well, okay. First off, the Clone Wars. If you're watching this and don't know, the Clone Wars is a series of battles. It's a war that took place between episodes 2 and 3. It kicked off with the Battle of Geonosis. And it's between the Republic's clone forces and the Separatist droid forces. It's a series of battles with Jedi as generals, Count Dooku Grievous, enemies, and Asajj Ventress as enemies. So there was the original Clone Wars in 2003. It had 2 seasons, and it directly bridged the gap from likely 6 months after episode 2 to literally a day before episode 3. Its combined length. It was only 2 hours long if you binge watched it. But then there was another one that came out in 2010, 9 or 10. Well, 9 or 10 probably, right?
Right. I can look that up.
Which was about the Clone Wars again, but it takes the place of, it's not as much of a narrative. It's just loose stories that follow Anakin and his Padawan Ahsoka, who is in none of the movies. And there are stories. It didn't really have a plot, so it didn't really ever.
It had a plot.
Well, but it didn't have an overarching plot, and it never really ended. So
it started in 2008, by
Okay, one year off there. So what happened was Disney pretty much ended it. They said they've ended it. In a press release, and that they wanted to pursue newer, different things. So pretty
They
much,
wanted to pursue the sequel movies, meaning 4, 5, and 6. They wanted to stick more with those
well,
stories.
sequel would be original.
Right, then the prequel movies,
Yeah.
which was 1, 2, and 3.
So
And so
they stopped
instead
Clone
of-
Wars,
yeah.
and they put out Star Wars Rebels, which is, I have been assured, I have not watched it, but that it is much more not
Kid show.
kiddie. Yeah, it's a kid show. That may sound hypocritical coming from us, but you know, we're not that young. And yeah,
College students.
they pretty much changed it from Clone Wars to original trilogy. One reason I saw this, like, I will admit I didn't like this very much, but one reason I saw was that they wanted to appeal to a younger audience for like a new generation of Star Wars fans, and Clone Wars was pretty dark. I mean, you can attest to that.
No, yeah, Clone Wars definitely had its like not the first. The first one was not. The first one I think the first Clone Wars series that came out was the best of the two. Or the better of the two.
Oh yeah.
Because in the first one, it was shorter, which
Mhm.
which I think was actually, I would rather.
Well, it's like a
rather
movie.
be
It's the
longer
length of a
so that I
movie.
can watch more. But yeah, it was like a movie, and it flowed perfectly, and the story made sense because it just went from
Yeah.
two to three.
Like it
And
was.
it
Yeah.
fit really nicely. Like you almost could call it like another movie.
It pretty much
Or like
was.
a
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I liked about it is because there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue, and there was just more like story that was implied by action. It made it so I think it appealed greatly to both adults and kids.
Oh
Because
yes.
I think the newest Clone Wars, it struggled because, like you were saying, it got dark at times, but at other times,
It was
so it'd be
really
it'd
kiddie.
be pretty adult at sometimes. Where if I was a little kid, I know I won't be able to understand it. And then there was I remember not understanding it.
Yeah.
And then if I was a little kid, or if I was an adult watching it, there's some parts that it's just like cringeworthy.
Well, I also think that you know the corruption one. Yes.
She's like, Ahsoka, who's a Jedi. She's teaching this class on corruption.
Whenever they bring kids into that show, it fails.
To these I don't know, middle schoolers, I
Yeah,
guess, or maybe early high school. But she's like, corruption is when people take money for their own good. It's like it's just
not
so
painfully
it's like ugh. Like,
well, another thing I liked about the original series, which it showed I'll give one thing I liked and one thing I didn't like about the original series. One thing I liked about the original series was that it showed more of a bond between Anakin and Obi-Wan, like, cuz it shows Anakin becoming a Jedi Knight and him, like, you know, like, we now, what is Obi-Wan, so like, you're not my Padawan, you're my brother or something like that, right? Like, now we become brothers. Yeah. Okay. And the music at that part is sick. And another part, the part I didn't like was that because it is the direct plot, it isn't like, it's not as much like a TV show because you kind of know exactly where it's going to go, especially if you watch it in one sitting, which
right.
Another thing that I think I can agree with Disney about, because I don't think this is Disney's worst thing that we'll talk about today. Another thing I can agree with Disney doing is they couldn't really go anywhere with the Clone Wars because you know how it ends with Order 66 and with Anakin. If you start out with the Star Wars Rebels show where you have Darth Vader's in the show, I was looking up some, like, the trailer for like season 2 or something was out, and it had Darth Vader in it, I believe.
Right.
So it's going on at like the same time or possibly before, you know, episode 4 or episode 5. So they can go pretty much anywhere they want with it. They could make up like, they could have them go to any time. There's no end date of Order 66 that's going to be set. You know?
Right.
Which is nice.
I mean, here's what I'd say. Just quickly, I think so. Overall, I think Disney made a mistake here. I don't know which one is. To be honest, I don't know which one is received better. Both Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars.
I can look them up here. Give me a sec for the
they both received great reviews. Star Wars Rebels got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars has Let me check here. It's got 89% Rotten Tomatoes, 7.9 on IMDb.
Yeah, so and then Rebels, just double check.
Yeah, I will right now. Rebels has an 100% Rotten Tomatoes and 7.9 on IMDb. So better on Rotten Tomatoes, same on...
They're pretty much the same, because Rotten Tomatoes is notoriously wrong.
Okay, no it's not.
Yeah, okay.
That was just because one...
Sharknado at 100%.
It's because it knows that Sharknado is not a serious movie. Have you even seen Sharknado?
No, I know
it's good. It's good.
It's not okay.
It's so okay. It's like those bad.
It gave Top Gun like a 60%.
Okay, that's a shame. No, it did not. Let me search this.
It did.
There is no way Top Gun is a classic. 54%? Are you joking?
That's what I'm saying.
Taps. What did it give Taps?
Taps. Okay, there's no.
Taps movie.
Just looking up Tom Cruise.
It has a 75%.
Okay, see, it doesn't make sense. Top Gun was like a class. Either way.
Top Gun's good.
I find it hard to believe that none of the Star Wars movies got 100%, but yet the Rebels TV series can get 100%. Just saying. And not to mention, it's on Disney Channel. So
Ethan, it's corruption. It's when someone takes money for their own good.
Exactly. I just think, okay, so I've seen one episode of Star Wars Rebels, so I can't talk a ton about it. All I'm going to say is they blew up a TIE fighter with fireworks. And once that happened, I was like, it's time to turn it off. Like, it was just stupid. Like, they're like, let's blow this thing sky high. And like this admiral walks out and they just go, poof. And then there's like fireworks, like, woo! Like, I mean, I don't mind that it's meant for kids, but I'm just saying, I think, okay, here's what I'd say about the people that, oh my gosh, I cannot even
Disney?
remember.
The producers?
Disney, thank you, Disney. Here's what scares me about Disney, with this, going back to why, what I think the problem is, or, I guess we'll get to this in opinions at the end, but I just feel like Disney, to me, the move they made here to stop Clone Wars and start Rebels shows the commitment they have to kind of erasing.
Well, they want to make. Well, I just think that, and this is another quick topic here too.
Well, but think about it this way. So, Dave Filoni, I think that's how you say his last name.
Was he like a Disney exec or something?
He was the producer for Clone Wars.
Okay. The
They
second
hired
one.
him again for Rebels.
Yeah,
So
we knew that. It's the same guy.
They had a problem, I think,
with the style.
They know the show was good and the style was good and stuff, but I think that Disney kind of just doesn't want those things around, and they just kind of want to do their own thing and make Star Wars their own, which can be good to some extent. But I think Disney is very. I was reading online; they're very possessive. Like Disney, like apparently they're big. I was reading on The Economist, which is like, it's a pretty well-known magazine. They were saying that Disney is like really into like fierce enforcement of like intellectual property laws and copyright, which is ironic. It was kind of funny. The guy that wrote the article was like, "That's ironic, considering like Disney takes like all their ideas from like mythology and stuff."
Oh yeah.
So
I just think that I can't blame Disney for wanting to. Okay, because you can clearly see what Disney's doing. They change it to Rebels to garner interest in the original trilogy, which DICE just made Battlefront original trilogy, and the new movies, which also have stormtroopers, and it's not like a big galactic war. It's pretty much the same premise of episode A New Hope, the original trilogy. I just think that like I can't blame them for wanting to do this.
The show like right in the heart with a horrible ending.
I just think that maybe
like they could have at least let the show end. You know what I mean?
Well, because then they rushed Ahsoka leaving. Either way, this goes on.
Happens, but I think you were saying earlier, you're like, you know what happens between episodes 2 and 3. Like, yeah, we know what happens, but with the new characters, we don't. Like Rex, Ahsoka, like we don't know what's gonna happen with them or. 5, Echo.
5, the soldier who cared too much.
They both died.
Heavy.
99.
I'm a soldier, just like you.
Just like you. But either way, that was an example of cheesiness in Clone Wars that shouldn't have been there. But for those of you guys who don't know, there's like these clones that they put in the Clone Wars series that were called Heavy Echo 5.
Domino Squad.
Cut up. Yeah, and then they were like the Domino Squad. They were like the Squad of Clones.
They were in a couple different episodes. A bunch of them died.
But they were just obnoxious at times. Like, Heavy, they don't...
Well, because you're like... Because, like, you know, because they're clones, and all the clones get cloned on Kamino. And, like... 99, he was, like, a retarded old guy.
He was supposed to be, like... It was terrible.
It sounds terrible. Literally, he was meant to be, like, mentally, like...
Special needs.
Yeah.
I mean...
He was, like, a deformed clone.
And, yeah, either way, it was... They did not write
so,
dialogue
well, because okay, well they made it because like Kamino is where all the clones are cloned, and that like Kamino came under attack. And 5 was just like, you know, he was like, clones, get out of here. He was like, sorry, master, this is our home, and with all due respect, we'll defend it. It's like it's just so painful.
They were just cheesy. They were just unnecessary, annoying characters. But either way,
yeah.
But yeah, I just think that Disney just shows commitment time and time again to like I feel like they're just kind of like, we want to do our own thing. We're gonna get rid of what was.
Yeah,
like
well,
it.
it's like they
it's just obnoxious. To be honest,
it's kind of they just wanted to make it like all like cut and dried. You know, like this is what happens in the Star Wars universe, which is another thing I think we can segue into now. The second half of our Disney thing is the expanded universe. So if you go on Wikipedia, so the Star Wars Wikia, you will now find 2 tabs under Expanded Universe, and there, Expanded Universe for the first tab, and the second will be canon. So I was reading online, so Disney has, you might already know this, pretty much taken out a lot of the Expanded Universe, which I can't blame them for. The Expanded Universe is,
I can.
It's, I'm not saying I like it, but so what they did is, so the Expanded Universe, if you don't know, is, there are the movies, okay? Then there are the video games and TV shows. So that's like, you know, normal stuff. It's like TV, like mainstream media, I guess I'd call it. But then there's the Expand Universe. So this is comics and books and all print that's not in anything like that. So it's what essentially you can have is you can have a good example is like Boba Fett. Boba Fett dies in episode 6, right?
Yes.
No, he doesn't. According to new canon, he does. Well, I'm not sure about that, but there are stories of what he does after that. I have comics of stuff he does before episode 6. Then there's other stories of him. They were like really bad kids books. It was about Boba Fett and like what he did right after the Battle of Geonosis, like when he was like becoming a Mandalorian. Well, not a Mandalorian, but when he was becoming like a you know, like a bounty hunter. And
Right.
there's all that, and I bet you there's a million stories. Same thing with like Han Solo. There's a million stories of what Han Solo was doing, you know, before or after the rebellion, before like the movies, and it's hard to keep track of. So I can't blame Disney for doing it, but it kind of takes away the mysteriousness of, because what they did, for example, is they took out like a lot of
like the way 30 years of content.
Oh yeah, and just they retained some of it,
and not
but
30 years. I mean 30 years of like people making it.
But yeah, because there's comics of what happens after episode 6, but they took all that away because now the new movies.
Like the Nazis, like they just like eliminate stuff.
Well, it just
they don't like.
It's because in the Expanded Universe, you used to be able to say like, oh, let's see what happens to Luke or to Han, and there would be like a million stories about what happens to him and all the stuff he does. And now it's like, oh, here's what Han does. Oh, that's all he does. Because it's cool because the old stories don't follow a linear path. You know, you just kind of piece together, oh, he did all this stuff before the movie, and he did all this stuff after the movie. It's just a collection of stories. It's I think it's nice that it's not so cut and dry.
Yeah, right. Well, here's what I'd say about Disney. I think I do blame them for getting rid of all that stuff.
I mean, I don't like it. I'm not going to go
into
that.
They're like, Disney wants everything to be their own. Like, okay, well, here's, like I was saying earlier, Disney thrives from being unoriginal. You know what I mean? They take other ideas and make them their own. I mean, that's what they're...
Well, I mean, look at all of their,
Look at all their movies.
like Frozen,
like
all of their...
Jungle Book and stuff. Like, that was not their idea. I mean,
oh, yeah. Like, there's...
Kiddified it and then...
There's all, like, what's it called? Like, Aladdin. Even like Frozen is literally based off like the Ice Queen, which yeah, sure they Disneyfied it, but the fact that Disneyfied is a word,
not creative, but it's just like
they play it safe. I feel like they're like Marvel, like you know it's gonna be a good movie. It's not gonna be edgy at all. It's gonna be cut and dried.
Is what I'm saying.
What? Sorry.
Disney didn't come up with Marvel.
No. I'm not. I'm just think I agree that they didn't come up with it, but it's like it's that thing that you know it's gonna be good, but you know it's not gonna be great. Like Dark
Yeah,
Knight is
Disney's
great.
way too
Like
safe.
Marvel has not, for example, Marvel being like a comparable thing to Disney with their like
Correct.
mass movie making. That
Mhm.
like Marvel movies, none of those Marvel movies, except for the exception of maybe
Thor.
no, Thor's terrible.
I know.
Um,
Oh, I thought you were gonna
oh
say about
no,
bad
I was
movies.
gonna say like Dark Knight is literally better than all of them. It's the best, and it's you can't because of the risks that they took with Dark Knight. It's a really dark movie, The Dark Knight, but it's fantastic. And I think that Disney, like Marvel, kind of plays it really safe and wants to
It's
make
like
everything like
this.
here's
Yeah,
our
it's like this
timeline.
archetype. Like this is how it's gonna be. There's gonna be this guy at the beginning or girl who has like this troubled life, and
Mm-hmm.
they like have problems, and then they find their superpowers, and they're doing great, and then they get knocked down. They find some romance along the way, and then they become powerful again and beat a bad guy at the end. And there's a few wisecracks in between.
It's just like I think that
And we're gonna put
yeah.
the U.S. military in there for no reason.
Well, the wait, what?
Yeah, do
What?
you know in the Marvel movies? It's always like they have like they
Oh,
always like randomly
yeah,
put
like the
military.
National Guard or something.
I
Yeah.
know it's so
Um. Well, I think that like it's exemplified with Episode 7. Why is it exactly like A New Hope? Like why? It's because they wanted to play it safe and they knew people. It's a tried and true formula. I'm in a myth class right now, and we learn about the hero's journey, and literally, they play off that. And A New Hope's a perfect example of that. And I think they could have made a good hero's journey without having it be the exact same as A New Hope.
no, yeah, I agree. I think Disney. I
Like you can be a fanboy. I think that like because J.J. Abrams was like famed for being a Star Wars fanboy and liking Star Wars more than Star Trek. I think you can be a fanboy, but it's cool because of like the
he's
expanded
just
universe.
weird though. Like
You
he didn't
can
even sign on for the second movie.
well, you can you like you what I was saying is like you can be a fanboy, but make your own story. You know, like the expanded universe. You don't have to follow the same. I just think
Well,
they played it safe. That's pretty much it. I
no,
don't.
yeah, I mean, overall, I think. All right, well, we'll bash on Disney at the end because just I have a few quick things. And so
Mm-hmm.
recently we've been kind of talking about some things that Disney has going again, what it's done, and some of the stuff it has going against it, or whatever. Some of the things that we think is wrong with its reign, or that people think is wrong
It's
with
rain.
with its reign over Star Wars. But well, I'll throw in a few.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
there are
more
people that
Disney
think
stuff.
Disney. Well, yeah, that will think Disney will be doing good. Um, so the Economist again, they said that Disney um, will do well with Star Wars because it's such a big movie franchise, and Disney has mastered the entertainment industry.
Well, yeah, they're gonna
By
make good
using
movies.
tropes,
I agree. Mm-hmm.
tropes which
Oh
are
yeah.
basically themes or motifs that have been famous throughout history. As we were just talking about the
Oh yeah.
mythology that they use that archetype to build their stories with
Mm-hmm.
that, and then they have tech, and then with
Good
the
CGI.
toys and all the
Yeah.
stuff like that, they think that Disney will be on top.
Oh,
And
I'm sure.
that they'll do a good job with it. And also, when they purchased Lucasfilms, they also got
Indiana Jones.
what was that called? No,
Well,
not
they
Indiana Jones.
no, they got
Uh,
that though. They have
did
it.
they really?
Yeah.
Oh my god! All right, but they also got the Industrial Lights and Magic,
Oh
which
yeah,
is like
Lucasfilms, Lucas's company.
It's like
Yeah.
this awesome, like top of the notch technology for like sound and video that they didn't have, but been purchasing that. They had that, so they're going to use that for Marvel now, as well as Star Wars. So people just think that because of their experience in entertainment, obviously that they're going to be successful, and also that in terms of expanded universe, they have hired people to write books and
Yeah, to
like to
redo
start
it.
writing
Yeah.
books, redoing them, and they
Mm-hmm.
say that these books are all pretty solid, and that a lot of the standard universe stuff wasn't. But at the same time,
Well, it was cool how like anyone could, not that anyone could do it, but that there was a variety of stories. You know, that it wasn't like, oh, this is the narrative.
well, Lucas said something about this, and I thought it was cool. Lucas said that one of the things that they were also saying though is that when Lucas was in charge of Plus was that he was the creator and the manager. So the people that wrote the expanded universe stuff had freedom to do their own thing, so they could write something but Lucas at the end of the day could be like, I don't like that. That's not going to be a thing, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he could monitor what was passable and what was not. And I think that was good because he let some people have some freedom. I mean, not too much, obviously, but like, he let people kind of spread their wings in the universe and make some stuff up. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff. So obviously, as we've been over, there's lots of debate over whether Disney will, in fact, destroy Star Wars.
I don't. Here's
So
the thing: is I
now we
think
go to our thoughts.
we were talking about it earlier, right? How Disney, they're gonna be successful. You know they're gonna be. It's like with Marvel. They're gonna be successful, but it's just gonna be bland. And I don't want Star Wars to be bland. The cool thing of Star Wars is how there's a variety. Like, because what they're gonna do is they're gonna make it where every new book or comic is gonna have to go through Disney, and if it doesn't line up with what they want to be the storyline, it'll have to go. Like, oh no, Han was doing this during this time of his life. We can't write that book. Like, well, what happens if he did something else? Like, in a year span, the books can be like a month long or something of his life.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's gonna happen. There's gonna be a lot less creativity. There's gonna be financial, profit for them, I'm sure, but it's not gonna be a lot of creativity, which is gonna suck.
All right, yeah. Here's what I'd say. I think Disney having Star Wars is a disaster, personally. Like Alex said, I think they're going to be successful. I mean, they're going to be successful. I mean, it's Star Wars. It's going to sell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
3 were so well received. And Episode 7 was so well received. I mean, they know, like I said earlier, they know how to get to people's hearts. So they got to have good music, which they have John Williams. They obviously now have great sound and video capabilities, great special effects. I mean, they're up for Oscars this year.
Well, I'll say that after. Go ahead.
Well, and they just, obviously they're very successful at what they do. But I think for those of us who, like what we were saying earlier, what makes a great movie or a great story is one that's unique, one that people, haven't heard before, that's different. And
well, it's
the best movies. My favorite movies aren't the ones. None of them are the Marvel movies.
Oh,
I know
no.
people like the Marvel movies, but I doubt anyone goes there. And they're just fun. I mean, that's what most people say. It's just, I'm not going there to have my mind blown. I'm just going there to hang out with some friends or something and have a good time. But Star Wars. I think one of the cool things about it was it was so unique. Nothing ever like it had been made in the time, and even to this day, it's still very unique. And what we were saying earlier is Disney is so safe with how they have to play everything. They have to make everything Disneyfied.
Exactly.
Everything has to follow this path, and if it doesn't go their way, they get mad. So I just think that they're gonna ruin it because they're gonna keep producing movies that are passable. And you know what? I'm probably not going to have a problem with it. But at the end of the day, I mean, let's say you don't like the prequels. I mean, at least they were unique.
Well, I saw a lot of articles. I saw a lot of articles which were like, Disney's trying to erase the prequels, thank God. Or like, I saw one article, it was on Screen Rant or something. It was like, Disney, which in a move that should be, praised by the most ardent of Star Wars fans, Disney's trying to erase the prequels. Like, we're Star Wars fans. The prequels are a part of Star Wars. It's part of the franchise.
It's there.
You keep it there. And then as for the sound, I don't think they did well with the music. Just like most Marvel movies, I didn't really. Yeah, there's the Star Wars theme. If you go and look at the soundtrack, the most bought song is the Star Wars theme. Like the only other song that was okay was the Rebel March song, but that was only because of the cool scene that it was in when like the fighters were coming across the water. Like,
I guess it's so similar to the music that was already out. Of course, it's good.
Well, Episode 1 and the prequels had good music. I don't know. I think that Disney will make it, like you said, they're gonna make it good but not unique.
Yeah, and then my other thing about Disney is they want to, like you were saying, they just want to erase what was made, and I don't think that's smart. I mean, Disney, okay, here's what I'd say. Disney hasn't made a movie. I mean, granted, I'm older now, but, ever since, they haven't made a movie that I was like, wow. in a long time.
Oh yeah,
That
I
I
agree.
thought was, I mean, other than episode 7, but I'm saying they
Episode
tend
7 was not a
to.
wow. I think The Lion King probably. I mean that we weren't even alive when that came out.
Well, yeah, we were.
No, we weren't.
I was.
That was like 1990 or something, or 1995, wasn't it?
1990.
Let me look
Oh
it
yeah,
up.
I
It was like
guess I was
1995.
just before I was born. But
The
either way,
Lion King.
yeah, but I'm saying like ever since
1994,
like, Frozen was
yeah,
obviously
just
very
before us.
big and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like that was like the last. I mean, other than like those kid cartoon things, they haven't really produced anything that wows me. I mean, for me, if you want to make something great, you have to take a risk.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Disney doesn't. I mean, they just suck the fun out of everything because it has to be like so perfect and so. They just annoy me. They annoy me. They're like the Nazis. They just like. Okay, that's like way too aggressive, but they just like.
Well, no, because they want everything to be one way. Like, no, it's gonna be gonna be a solid movie with good effects and.
Just, like, are trying to delete things that like.
Well,
things
because
that like people have made.
They're not incentivized to make a good movie. Filmmakers who aren't big, right at the beginning of their career, which is every filmmaker, they have to take a chance, and they have to put everything on the line for like their first movie, or for music, everything on the line for that first album. If that first album or movie flops, then you're done, and that's pretty much that was your chance. But if that first stuff catches on, you'll still be in the business, even if you make bad stuff later. Like M. Night Shyamalan, you know what I'm saying? Like his first movies are good, and now his stuff is at least his like sophomore slump or whatever. I just think that they're not taking risks because they know that they're in it for the money, but the people who have to take that first risk are also in it for the money. I just think it's like a monopoly.
Here's what I'd say. I mean, Disney is. I mean, the difference between Disney and Lucas is Disney is a corporation. They have to, obviously they have to like make money for their shareholders.
Yeah.
And stuff, and they want to maximize their profits. But like Lucas, I think the difference was Disney doesn't really care.
No, I agree.
Yes, they have to care. I mean, of course they have to care because they have to make money, and in order to make money, they have to entertain us and make us happy. But in terms of Lucas, one of the things Lucas has said, he called them white slave. Like obviously, this guy is very too invested.
I think that I do think that he,
but I think
made movies, and he cared just like. If he didn't care more about the universe, he cared just as much about the universe than he did about the money.
Exactly. I think he cared about making something that was pleasing to fans, but also pleasing to him, and something that was different, and something that he thought up, and something that was cool. I mean, just smart. He tried. He did something different, and it made a really big impact. I think Disney is going to just ram this into quantity over quality.
Oh yes, that is Marvel.
They're just going to produce movies, and they're just going to be par movies, and we're all going to get sick of them. Just like I have no desire to see Avengers 6.
I'll see it, but again, it's not going to be the best movie. It's going to be cool.
Like Civil War.
My dad is so hyped for that. He loves Captain America.
I know people are so excited for it. I don't understand because. Someone explained the premise to me.
Of what?
It made no sense.
Yeah, that like.
It's like Iron Man thinks that heroes should be registered.
Well, they want their identity pretty much. They're not like vigilantes.
Yeah, and but here's my thought. Here's what I said. If you're a superhero and you don't want to register, just don't register.
I know. Anyway. Like just hide.
Just
You're a superhero.
No sense. I mean,
just hide.
Keep going undercover.
You're a superhero.
It's stupid. It's stupid. I mean.
Well, and the dumbest thing is it's kind of like Clone Wars in a way. You know what's gonna happen. You know they're all gonna get back together because of they have already announced the Avengers Infinity War movies 1 and 2. So you know that they're all gonna be back together.
It's like a romantic comedy.
You know what the ending's gonna be.
I'm sick of watching them. I mean. I just think if you want to, okay, I'm not an RT person. This will be the last thing I say, but I'm not an RT person. But I appreciate when people go out of their comfort zones to make something spectacular. I was watching The Office the other day, the TV series of Michael and all. I mean, granted, I guess it wasn't an original they were talking about. I read something on IMDb where it was that was a big risk because in America, typically when you have a comedy, you have like a laugh track and stuff like that, and you have
Well, the style of it.
the style, like you don't have that like documentary thing that The Office was doing.
The mockumentary, yeah.
Yeah, the mockumentary. Like those things before The Office came here, that was like people in the United States.
Well, and even like I don't know if
producers didn't do that.
I don't know if this is like I think but like Ricky Gervais is like The Office, right, in England. I don't like because there was only one season of that. So did it do that well?
I don't know. People were saying it was so good.
Because if it didn't,
I don't think it did that well.
Because if it didn't do that well, they didn't make any more seasons, which also shows another risk that. And they made a great product. I mean, yes, it got stale as they became more.
But even then, I mean, it has great reviews on.
Oh,
yes.
Like,
people love the show. I love the show.
Well, I think.
But I'm saying like that is an example of like people taking a risk and making something different, making something unique, caring about the subject, and not just trying to like get by. And Disney's just trying to get by. They're trying to like eliminate
dissenters, burn the heretics, burn the heathens,
destroy the books.
I mean, literally, like that's you can take them as an exaggeration. But they literally are like they're making their own new Star Wars universe, which their own is everything. It's
right.
I think we've gone in circles.
They play, I mean, they're just playing too big of a role in this. I wish they didn't have it. I wish one of Lucas' sons would have adopted it or something, or daughters. But,
okay, well, I think that's pretty much
Sucks.
all we had, right?
Yeah. I'm depressed about Star Wars because I know Rogue One is going to be like...
Well, I mean, next time we'll have another podcast coming up next week.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be on episode 4, New Hope.
And that's pretty much all I have.
Please comment, tell us.
Yes, tell us what you like. I think we got 10 views on our last one, which I only have 9 subscribers.
Record-breaking.
I know. So that's if I only have 9 subscribers and there's 10 views. You know what that means.
Someone is watching that's not subscribers.
Yes, and I doubt all. Well, no. How many subscribers do I have? Do I have 9? Or
I thought you had like 8. 7.
I know it's bad. I'll check right now.
Either way, just help us out, guys.
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
Write in the comments.
Just tell other people, if you like Star Wars. We're hoping we're gonna figure out a way to get the quality of Ethan's voice a little better there. But yeah, we'll keep making these things.
Poor people.
Yeah.
Have a whole lot of money, so.
Okay.
All right.
And we'll see you guys on the flippity flip. All right. See ya.
On the flip.
Is that bad?
It's weird.
No, it's not.
By the way, don't vote for Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, or Ben Carson.
Do not vote for Ted Cruz. I do not know if sand can glow, but I will find out.
Yeah, just a quick splurge on something dear to my heart. Do not vote for those people because they're idiots. I mean, racist, crazy people.
Okay.
Or Bernie Sanders. Don't vote for him. Or Hillary Clinton.
Jeb. I'm honestly thinking Jeb.
I'm thinking Jeb Bush.
If he can get the Republican nomination, I think he's our best candidate because he's gonna play it safe.
Claw behind Jeb Bush. We are making
Jeb.
a call.
Jebediah.
Jeb. Or Martin O'Malley for the Democrats. He's more a Democrat boy. So, all right.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys there. Bye. Hey there. Hey, man. That's good,
Okay.
man.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we going live.
Okay, Doc, come on.
It's like something Dwight would do.
Yeah, I know he would. He would.
Just starts laughing about.
Well, he like lean back, like pump his fist in the air or something,
I know he's so dumb. I saw the episode where Andy and Dwight like duel. So stupid. Dwight has like a chain.
Yes.
If I were Jim, I would like call the police.
I know. Andy and Dwight were gonna fight in the park, and Andy runs into Dwight with his car. That was the stupidest thing. Like if you go under 5 miles per hour in a Prius, it's literally silent. He deserves the win.
I know.
It's like, okay, no. Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, Doc. I'm telling you, Doc. We should stream sometime.
Twitch, man.
We would literally not have to do anything different than we would if we play games.
I know, but then they'd hear our commentary.
Who cares, dog? If they like it, they'll stay. And if they don't, then whatever. Okay. My voice should be good. You're all the way up, so you should be as loud as you can be.
All right.
Okay. Are you good?
Mhm.
Wait. We should do a stupid intro.
And what should our intro be?
You should do something like, okay, this is the aptclear coming at you with another daily Destiny video.
I know. Like, hey guys.
Hey guys, we're back. Okay, wait. We should both do that. Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna do like 1, 2, 3, hold, and then go. Okay.
Hold.
Yeah. Don't talk, so I can cut it there.
All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.